Welcome everyone to the Church of Union after tea time. And I'm here today with Hannah and Manuela so we can discuss the sermon today. I really enjoy watching the sermon, it really gave me like a next piece, especially for me, oh, okay, like as I was watching myself, I was like, oh, like I can work on these now, like kind of like looking at myself and like kind of like analyzing, but also taking in the message, that came through. And it's really powerful, um, peace is the way. And so, yeah, I just want to open up the conversation for you guys to share how do you feel, what are your insights about it.
I loved it. I thought it was very grounding and like to the point and yeah, like something that really stood out to me. I believe it was at the end, is where sorry, I just got distracted. Is where you mentioned like how easy it is and like how simple it is. And yeah, that really like hit me. And it's something like that I've been like has been in my consciousness lately too, is just like how easy and simple um, the path of twin flame ascension is, and like the path of being with God is. And it's like we as humans like make it so complicated, but really like you said too, that's okay. Like it's okay to be human and feel your feelings. And like that really resonated with me as well. And like I've been in this space lately where I'm just like, I just love feeling and like love, like being human and having these emotions. And like a thought came to my mind the other day of like, I'm just so glad I came to Earth. Like, I'm so glad I came here. And like, of course I wanted to come here. This is so cool to get to feel like all these emotions and like go through all these challenges. And then like also being a unionist, having the understanding that none of these challenges are even like real, so to speak. Like peace is the only thing that is real. We just like, I don't know, I guess for some reason like it's more fun to experience like a moment of like, oh my god, is peace not real? But then being like, oh yes it is, of course it's real, than to just be in constant peace as in like heaven. So like that's kind of what came up for me, is like, even though there are a lot of challenges like in life and like being with your twin flame, like, you know, there's only one place that we're going, and it's into deeper and deeper peace. And it's like a really fun journey and enjoyable journey. And like, yeah, we can just have a lot of compassion for ourselves for whatever we're feeling and like whatever we're moving through, because it's only bringing us into a new level of peace and new level of that relationship with God. And yeah, what we all truly desire at the core. Um, yeah, I loved it. It really spoke to me about just things I've struggled with throughout my life, like worrying. Like I would always a huge worrier as a kid, and like yeah, just like having this position now, where I'm at now is more like, yeah, worries, still come up, but I'm learning to just further and further surrender them, let them go, and give them to God, and like return to that peace, which is what I choose. And like you said, it's just a choice, like choosing peace. And like as we keep choosing it, like our past choices to worry and to like have these thoughts of like separation just fall away. Um, so yeah, that's really what I got from it overall, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I really like the sermon as well. I love how you emphasize like a lot of peace, because something I've realized is like you can feel like the full range of your emotions and still be grounded in that peace, like that center of peace, you know? So that's something I've learned recently on my journey. It's like, oh, I can like be a human being and express myself authentically and yeah, like I was saying, still have that like that connection with God of peace, which is nice and it's safe, feeling that. Um yeah, so I guess that's what I have to say right now.
Cool. Yeah, like it's that easy, like I said, you know, like a choice to be with peace. And it's funny you mentioned, Hannah, yeah, we're human, right? Like, because of course we are, right? But when I saw myself, you know, in the sermon, I was like, yeah, right, like we're human, but like we're also divine, you know, and like you know, it's okay that like everybody is having their own process, right? Like, and like everybody, you know, it's going at their own pace. However, you know, what I think that we shouldn't like fool ourselves is with the choice, right? Like that we're talking, right? Like the choice of peace. Like, yes, you know, it's okay to learn and to make mistakes and like all of these things like throughout the journey. But like the choice to be with peace, like should be taken very seriously, you know, because then that's the only way that you can move fast, you know, towards your union, towards your harmonious union, and how you can stay in your harmonious union, you know, like to always be with peace, like to always, whatever peace is, you go there. And if there is no peace, you don't go there, you know, and like that's crucial, you know. And so like, yeah, I think that like that's why like I, you know, put a lot of emphasis in, you know, in the peace, and how important it is that like we are with peace, you know, because we can be very like you know, there are so many things that can be entertaining, you know, like, oh, I gotta get this done, I have to do this, and then we don't end up like prioritizing the inner work, for example, or you know, the whatever that needs, you know, to be done. And I feel like, you know, when we are serious about harmonious union, um we gotta be serious about the spiritual life, you know, like serious about like channeling everything that comes is healed, right? Like an upset is coming, I heal it, I channel, like it just becomes who you are, you know. And I've heard, you know, like people, at least like lately, you know, like I had these two people who were saying like, you know, like, yeah, you know, like I'm gonna heal, you know, like I want to heal, but like, you know, like I need a space, and like you know, like as if like they see like some people see, I think, like as if like doing your healing and like being 100% committed with your healing, it's a burden, you know. And it's not. It's actually the medicine, you know. It's actually the only place where you are 100% safe, the only place where you can actually make good choices because you are with peace, and like everything, and you can expand, you know, and you can grow, and you can go even deeper and deeper in your heaven on earth. And like it's like a direction that you take, you know. And it's when you choose that peace, and like when you prioritize that peace, and you are serious about it, you know, instead of like, yeah, like having like some sort of like a break from it. And I feel like it happens maybe for to all of us, you know, like, and we have to like kind of like educate ourselves, like have the discipline to be like, no, like you know, if I want my harmonious union, this is it, you know, this is what it needs to be done, right? Like me claiming and like always choosing my peace. And yeah, like, you know, it doesn't matter what anybody else is choosing. This is what I choose. This is what I say to myself, you know, like this is what I choose for me. This is what I want for me. And this is, yeah, like I had this feeling yesterday, you know, like I took Chispita to the groomer. And then as I was picking her up, like the groomer is in a very like you know, in the area where like there's the restaurants, you know, the park, like all the beautiful things, right? And so it was yesterday, it was like Saturday, right? Like, and it was like, I think it was like 3 p.m., but there was a lot of like things going on, you know, like bars and things and like all of that. And like, I don't know, like I had this glimpse of like, you know, like, wow, like to me it was just another day, you know, like. And then I realized like, oh, it's Saturday, you know, like that's why like everybody's out. And so, and I don't have anything against that, you know, but like what I'm saying is it just made me realize the life that I chose for myself, you know, that like I chose to be in complete peace. And that like, you know, yes, of course I like to have fun, you know, like I like to like, you know, go out with a friend maybe and like, you know, have dinner with my twin flame or spend time with family, right? Like we're gonna have fun soon, right? Like the entire community, we're gonna be in a workshop and like many workshops, and you know, and we're gonna be able to experience the beautiful and divine art show of Shaleia and the wedding, you know, like we're gonna have a very good time, you know. And but like I guess what came up to me was like it's really about like having the fun, not to numb out something, you know, or like just because that's what I'm used to, you know, like okay, I'm just gonna go and have fun and like be with peace and let that fun naturally unfold in a way, you know. And so that just came to me yesterday as I was looking at all of this, you know, movement going on. And yeah, like, you know, like I just, you know, bought my coffee, you know, like came home and like, you know, got things done, and it was just very cool, you know. And so I think that like when you are on your twin flame journey, at least you have to be very like diligent with your choice, you know, because this is the fastest path, right? Like to ascension. And so you chose that, right? Like you gotta remind yourself, like I chose this, like I chose this path. And so I cannot be choosing this path and not be fully committed to this path, because then you're gonna experience contrast and you're gonna be frustrated and like all of these things. And so I think that like, yeah, like, you know, I respect everyone who is on their twin flame journey, because it's so beautiful and so deep and so profound. And I'm not saying that, you know, other journeys are not. It's just that like this is the journey that I chose, you know, and that like, you know, we're choosing, and I love it. And that requires that, you know, to have that very 100% commitment with the inner work and with like the actions that we take that honor the peace that we chose, you know. And that's it. And like it's and that's the real high, you know, that's the real fun, like when you are always with God, like when you are um yeah, like at the end of the day, right, like the end of search is God. And so, you know, if you go direct to that, then, you know, that's it, you know, you have it all. And you can have fun too, right? Like, and I think that's also something I really love about the Church of Union, you know, and Union is that like God is cool, you know, like God is fun. Like you can listen to like a very cool, like, you know, like very trendy song and connect with God, you know, because God is cool and God is love and God is fun and joy. And so yeah, like yeah, and like, you know, in order, I feel, you know, right, so we can experience all of that, we gotta choose to prioritize peace. And then, you know, that's the foundation. So that's, I think that's, you know, that was my inspiration, you know, after the sermon, and what also inspired me to do the sermon. And I also experienced, you know, what you were saying, Hannah, like always worry. Like I have anxiety. I'm not gonna say I have, because, you know, I don't want to like identify with it, but it's been there throughout my life, you know, like being anxious and like always running and always like, you know, like I'm always in a rush. And now I'm like, no, like, you know, like I'm literally starting to do like a physical exercise, like I'm exercising and I'm training myself to like, you know, yeah, you can exercise and like do like the weights and all of that. 'Cause I love that. I love the gym. But like everything needs to be with peace, everything, right? Like even those moments where you go and you're like, okay, doing the thing, you know, like it can be with peace, right? Like even though you are doing like heavy lifting, you know, like it's so incredible, I find, right? Like, this is the teaching of union, you know, and so, yeah, like, yeah, the anxiety thing, the worry, you know, like that we do have to make a choice and say no to that. and choose peace. And then we start changing like how we've been operating. And that's very powerful. Like that's why I feel like I am married to the teachings of Indian, and like it's just for me, I always thought like this was my salvation, my bridge to God. And I just love Jeff and Shaleia so much for like, you know, um channeling all of these and like, being the gurus that they are. And yeah, it's really incredible to be here.
Yeah, amen. That was beautiful. It felt like Sermon 2.0 in a way. I just loved everything you said. It was so nice and yeah, and comforting. And yeah, and you touched on so much. Like, for some reason, I kept thinking about my day yesterday when you were talking about Saturday and everything. And like yesterday, like it really, like I was feeling so much upheaval this past week and like, hormonal and emotional and just like feeling my feelings and like having compassion for myself. And then yesterday, I just had like the most peaceful day and like we painted Dylan's office all day for most of the day and got that done, which felt so good. And so he can finally move into his office and start working in there. And then we went and met like my cousin had just had a baby. And so we met the little 10-day-old baby and like we both got to hold him and like just be with this like new soul. And it was so, so beautiful. And like, then we went to like my parents' house and had dinner with them and played a game with them. And, it was like such a full, rich day of like deep, deep peace. And like, throughout the day, like I was conscious of it too. I was conscious of how peaceful this day was. It just felt like a meditation and like, yeah. And like reflecting on it, I know like I would never have that experience in the same way that I did without the teachings of union and without like this teaching and like this like you were saying, this channeled, information that we all have and we all practice. And it's like just such a simple day, like a productive, like normal Saturday with family, like can feel so rich and like can be that rich relationship with God, like, and like that's what this teaching brings you to. It doesn't bring you to like this, like in crazy celebration with lights and confetti and like, like champagne popping. Like, of course, like you said, there are moments of that where we have fun and we celebrate, but really those moments of like peace and like just stillness are what we work so hard for by purifying ourselves and like being diligent with the mirror exercise and like yeah, not having to search for fun, but just finding it in like everyday work and moments. And like, I feel like that's partly why too, like it's so I saw a comment in the open forum the other day or a post where someone asked like, is the mirror exercise really a cure-all for everything? And like Jeff responded to it and he said something, beautiful about how you can really heal everything with love. And like that's the simplicity of that is so profound. It's almost unbelievable. Like, if you haven't experienced it, like we've all experienced it. Um, and yeah, I feel like that peace that everyone seeks, a lot of people think you're gonna find it on the beach, or you're gonna find it in the mountains, or you're gonna find it um like somewhere, on the moon. I don't know. But really you find it like within yourself and you carry that peace wherever you're going. Like you're saying to the gym and like yeah, to the groomers and like out to eat and like wherever you go, it's like you carry this deep peace with you. And um yeah, and that feels so good. And like my life, it's a lot simpler than it's ever been, really. Like there's not like growing up and in college and there was always a football game or a party or like an event or something, like getting dressed up and going out and you know really having fun was what I looked forward to all week. And like my life now is so much different to where like it's like fun just finds me like when it's meant to, and of course there's so much joy in life, like in the little moments and things like that. But like I found that I don't have to go out and search for fun, and that um when I'm just with peace, like moments of like simplicity are like the most fun for me. Like I had so much fun yesterday painting walls and like getting down on my hands and knees and like doing the trim, and like just like that brought so much joy. And getting to do that like for my twin flame and for our home was so fulfilling and like supportive. And like we didn't need to go out and have drinks at the bar or anything like that night. We just went and played games with my family. And like I said, my family is something I've really been working on throughout my journey too. It's my relationship with them. And yeah, I feel called to share this. Like recently, I've just had this major realization about my family where like my parents did such a great job with me. And I know like that might sound silly, but like I just feel so grateful to them and like um appreciative to them and like forgiving and like compassionate. And like I've realized this new level of like them being human and like them loving me so much. And like I'm just so grateful for that, and that's part of what this work has brought me. And um, yeah, it makes me emotional because like I've struggled with my parents for a long time, and um, I do feel like just this new. I feel like that's in the past now. Like I can handle it now. Like I'm an adult, and like this work has really made me like a spiritual adult, and it feels really, really good. Um, and that has all come from peace. Like every single bit of it has come from peace, um, yeah, and I really feel like this sermon, like for everyone watching, like this sermon is like your guide to harmonious union. It's really is like um this beautiful guide. And of course all the work is a guide, but this was just it in like a nutshell. It felt like just have faith, keep going, do the work, like give yourself the love and peace that you desire, and um, everything will be laid out for you, because God is real. And like God is good and he's incredible. And yeah, and like yeah, and like just don't be like scared to like give everything to God, because it's really like the best thing you can ever do in your life.
Yeah, I love everything you said. It was nice. And yeah, it's true. Like you can be like at peace and have so much fun. Like I feel like I'm having like a lot of fun right now. I'm just like at peace, just like, and it's just fun. So something that like has helped me claim deeper peace has been like journaling my feelings because I'm used to having like a busy mind. So when I'm able to like journal stuff out, um, it helps me like decompress my mind from stuff. And I'm able to do like step one through journaling with the mirror exercise. And then I'm able to go through, it all and then like do step two. So that's been helping me like claim my peace within my mind and stuff. Because that's the goal, right? To be at peace. My goal is like, so my twin flame relationship can feel peaceful. So I'm like, let me really claim my peace here and like claiming all my support, you know, through journaling, the mirror exercise, and even like therapy has helped me a lot, health and wellness. So yeah, just like the ultimate goal is peace. Um, yeah, so that's what I have to say right now.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I love to hear also like, what you guys feel, experience, and like, it's just peace, right? Like peace, peace, peace everywhere. And yeah, like as you were talking right now, I was just having this visualization of like like the core, right? Like just going direct, like straight to the core, and it's like God, like you know, like just okay, I choose God, you know, and like that's it, like that's it, you know, like and to be and experience that journey. So yeah, that's beautiful, you know, like that choice. And um yeah, like, you know, when you were sharing, Hannah, like, you know, you enjoying all of the things you're doing in your home, and like, you know, like how you were like painting these, and like, you know, you were celebrating that. Um, it's incredible. Like, you know, I feel like I've had the opportunity to see you grow. And it's just, you know, I was just thinking of that, you know, like how you, like how, yeah, how you've grown, you know, like throughout this time. And it's just so beautiful, you know, like because I feel like I don't know, I just had this thought, you know, like of evolution, like how when you start your ascension journey, it's like you start like as if like evolution starts to happen so fast, like you become like boom boom boom, right? Like boom, you are divine, right? And it's of course it's a process, how you were saying, like it's the process of harmonizing in like a nutshell, like how by choosing peace and doing the work, and you know, surrendering to God, and having a relationship with the guru, and having a relationship with life, and like the community, right? Like, and like family, like everything like around, right? Like having a relationship, like how all of that, and finances, right? Like how all of that is the, you know, okay, boom, like you just, it's very clear, you know. And so yeah, like it's just so nice to see, you know, to when I heard that from you again, like how beautiful, like to experience that growth, you know. And at the end of the day, like the growth, it's I feel like it's just us going back to our truth, you know, like going back to our divinity, like purifying everything that we thought that we were, all of that, and then to come to this place where we're like, oh, like I am divine, you know. And yeah, and I can just be joyful, you know, and I can build my heaven on earth. And these are powerful things, you know. And so yeah, like I'm so happy, you know, to hear that, Hannah, like to hear your story and everything you shared. And like, you know, it's beautiful, you know, like how you, like the maturity you were talking, and the feeling, right? Like and the muscle, right? Like the spiritual muscle, right? And yeah, and so yeah, so congratulations for that. And also, Manu, thank you for everything that you shared too, even like in the sermon. Like, you know, like I feel like you have this beautiful sparkle, you know, where you know, you shine, right? Like, and you always have like, you know, like something really important to like give, you know? And so, yeah, like, I feel like we all do, of course, you know, like we all do, we all have that. Like, you know, I feel like we have to like be very loving with ourselves, you know, like because, you know, we go, yeah, we speak, right, like about the challenges and all of these things and all of that, right? But like behind the scenes, everybody is having their own challenge. And then when we come and share, right, like we're like, okay, where everything is put together and we, you know, share the message. And behind that, there is a warrior of love, you know. And so that's what I see in each one of us. And so I think I just want to say to you guys and to everyone watching that, you know, to remember that that's what you are doing. And so, oof, be easy with yourself, you know, and love yourself, you know, and yeah, like value yourself and be happy, you know, and share that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I totally agree. And I feel like, yeah, like I know that people say like light workers and light warriors, but it's like all the same thing, right? It's just love. Like we're just people that are holding the torch of love and, you know, the torch of like Christ, and like every single challenge that we face, like we will overcome with that love. Like, it's science, right? It's guaranteed. And yeah, I love what you were saying about evolution, and like it's really like someone asked me this week if challenges with your twin flame get easier as you keep going, and like I really felt into this, and I was like, well, like I get, like, they do, like they do get easier, I feel, and like because like we evolve, and like I'm sure they're the exact same level of like challenge like that we face, but you just have practice with it, and like you're saying, that spiritual muscle is built. And so like, like when you go to the gym, you start with 10 pounds, and then in a month you lift 15 pounds, and then 20 pounds, and like I feel like it's really similar to that. Like, you like evolve your consciousness to be able to handle and withstand like challenges in a different way. Um and yeah, and like eventually, like what I've noticed is like um peace is like the underlying flow even in challenging times, as you continue to like build that muscle and like the relationship with God. Like, that peace doesn't go away, and that like that tightness in your chest, or like that gut punch in your stomach, like when you are triggered or challenged, like might still show up, but it's still like peace is there too. And like you can more easily like move through it and like return back to peace. And yeah, and I feel like that is what you're saying, like that maturity of like I love when you say, Danny, you said this in the sermon, I think too, is like, don't freak out. And like you said this to me, Danny's my coach, if anyone doesn't know, but she said this to me so many times, is like, do not freak out, don't freak out. And I love when she says this, because it's so true, because for so long my initial reaction to challenges was to freak out, and like, like just like, that's the best way to say it, freak out, and like just get really upset and really anxious and scared. And now I don't feel like I freak out as much, like, like it's very much more level and grounded, and at peace. And like yeah, and like um I wrote this down to bring up, and I don't know if I think you did touch on this, but like how Shaleia says that faith equals confidence in the divine. And like as you have faith and practice your faith, like your confidence in yourself like increases to new levels and new heights. And like I'm just picturing, I think about a year ago I started doing after church tea time, and I remember my first one, I was so anxious and so nervous, and like I had all of these thoughts, and like of what I was going to say, and like how I was expressing myself, and like just feel how I'm feeling now is so different, and it's like absolutely incredible. And I think, Manny, you touched on MAP during the sermon or during your piece, and like I went through MAP in November of 2022, and I remember talking about like probably to Danny, I think, and I was like, I just see these people, I see the people in the community on YouTube and all this stuff, and the way they talk and express is so beautiful, and like how did they do that? Like I want to be able to do that too, and like I'm never going to be able to do this. Um and then you're like do map, like there's a lot more to it, but like you asked me if I wanted to do map again, and I was like no, and then finally I was like no, I'm ready for map, and I did it. And now I feel like I am in that place of like being able to speak and express myself and like make sense and not overthink. And yeah, it really is all peace, right? And like all God, like God moving through me, and like like having consistently built that relationship with God. And yeah, and like for anyone like on this journey, like it doesn't matter where you start, like you're going to end up in your own way, like in this place with God where you are divine. Like you said, Danny, like it's like you start and then boom, you're divine, and like you're here, and like you're home. And like that's how it feels like to ascend, is to just like keep coming home again to God. And like yeah, and like I guess my point is like, yeah, challenges do come no matter where you're at on your path, but like your faith has already strengthened so much that like you're getting through this, and like you will get through it. And yeah, like that back door is just not there anymore. And like you'll just always keep going because you've become confident in yourself. And yeah, and that feels really, really good. And Manny, what you were saying too, like I completely resonate with journaling. And like, oh my God, I have so many journals just full of my journeys. And like that's really what I go back to whenever I'm like not sure what to do, is like the mirror exercise and journaling. And like you said, I'll usually journal and then mirror, and that's like really clearing and healing for me, and brings me into another place of peace, because yeah, it's just like connecting with God, connecting with yourself, and like it's really beautiful. So
Nice. Yeah, something that I want to add, I think like when you mentioned like, when I say to you, don't freak out, I think the day that I fully grounded that lesson was in a class, with Jeff and Shaleia, where like I had this massive upset with my twin flame. And like, throughout the class, I was completely, my camera was off and I was just crying and like, and then at the end of the class, Jeff sensed that. And then he's like, let's touch, let's just see like how Dan is feeling. And I'm like, oh, and I'm crying. Like I didn't even put my camera on, I was just like crying, like, oh my God, like, I think I said like, Ian wants to break up and like he's so upset and like, and it's over. And like, I'm freaking out. And so Jeff is like, you knew this was gonna happen, like you're healing, like it's just the, like this is in a way like it was the upheaval, and like, God's got you, and like just keep healing, like like, and I was like, oh, okay. And so I think like that day was the day, like because of that guidance that I received, from Jeff and Shaleia, that's the day where I never again freaked out, and I'm sure I did. I'm sure. But like deep down, I feel like that was grounded. And so, even if like I had upsets or like everything with my twin flame, like throughout the years, where I thought that like, oh my God, like this looks like we're not gonna be able to move through this. We're not gonna be able to pass that. And, and I will be sad, but like I never again freaked out, in a way. I was just like feeling, right? Like the feelings. And we always do, we always do. And so, whatever challenge that you are moving through with your twin flame, you are gonna move through that. And you just have to be with your feelings and allow the purification to take place. Don't freak out. Like you are healing. The healing doesn't feel good. Like it comes up to be released. And that's the yucky thing, And so, yeah, like don't attach to the outside, to what your twin flame is telling you. Even if they're telling you they're gonna go move to China and never see you again, that it's not what's gonna happen. And you can just love yourself and allow yourself to fully heal what that's bringing you. And and have faith, because the twin flame journey requires an immense amount of faith. That's what I saw in a sermon the other day from Jeff and Shaleia, like the sermon, life purpose sermon. And so, yeah, like, thank you for mentioning that, because it really gave me this piece that I really wanted to share as well. So, yeah, I feel complete. How do you guys feel? Feel complete? Cool.
yeah, it feels good.
Cool. So thank you everyone for joining us and for watching, and we'll see you in the next after church tea time. I hope you enjoy the sermon, and I hope you enjoy this call. Yeah, so thank you everyone. Bye.